every time it would always be someone would come up and I was sure I would see like a bite on their body and I was like, no, they're going to turn into a zombie.
Not sure if you know this. That night, I almost killed you. Hello, and welcome to Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerd's Way. I'm Adam.
And I'm John.
And we're here to guide you through the necessary and horrifying future that's to come with you getting your face eaten off by potential mutant zombies.
Wait a minute, what did you mean by necessary?
Well,
don't you mean like it's definitely going to happen? Like, why necessary?
Oh, because it's necessary that it happens.
Because...
Well... Why not? I mean, if there's some type of nuclear apocalypse... I know last episode you were saying, like, oh, it takes, millions of years for genetic mutations to come about. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm fairly certain that magic's going to be involved in some level. So that's going to speed up the process. I'm going to become, like, I don't know... Well, I'm not, because I'm going to survive in an underground bunker somewhere hidden in the middle of the Australian desert. But, whatever. Anywho, magic and darkness, whatever.
So, basically, we're all going to be mutants except for you, and this is necessary. So, all of these things added together are making you sound like a supervillain.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. Right.
Oh, actually, that's another thing. Before we get into, like, everything, essentially, I just have to express my love for this little YouTube
series.
Adam,
I feel so... Oh, wait.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. I barely put up with you. No, I'm just kidding. You're amazing. Well done. No. So I recommended it to a couple of people last night, right? And I'm pretty sure you've seen it. If not, you've got to watch it. But I recommend to anyone who's listening, Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Right.
Yeah?
I've never actually finished that series. I watched the first episode or something, but I didn't watch it. That's genius.
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog is amazing, right? That's basically... Dr. Horrible is... my spirit animal, including all the songs as well. I break out the song at random times. It's fantastic. Now, to give you a quick breakdown, it's about this not amateur. He's a aspiring supervillain who wants to enter the Eagle. That's right, the Eagle League of Evil. No, the Evil League of Evil, rather.
Oh, right.
And Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, Felicia Day. I think even... it's directed by Joss Whedon as well. He is amazing. It's brilliant. I love it. And you guys will... If you don't like it, you have no soul.
So probably no one knows who any of those people are. So Joss Whedon made Firefly. Nathan Fillion played Captain Malcolm Reynolds out of Firefly.
He's also in Castle.
Castle as well, if you watch that. And then Neil Patrick Harris. Of course,
everybody knows Barney Stinson.
From How I Met Your Mother.
It's going to be legend. Wait for it. Keep waiting. It'll probably come in next episode. So yeah, the Neil Patrick Harris, Felicia Day. Some of you who may know, I'm pretty sure she's the founder of Geek and Sundry. The nerd type of.
Nobody knows any of this nerd stuff you're talking about, Adam.
Pretty much not. Felicia Day is the love of my life. She's amazing. She is in Supernatural as well. She plays Charlie.
So I should point out that the only reason Adam agreed to do this podcast is because I said to him that one day this podcast would become big enough that Felicia Day might listen to it.
And when she does, she'll be like, oh, yes, I love that little nerdy... that little nerdy guy. Self-censoring. Boom. Love it. Anyway.
Wait, what were you... let's not go into it.
I was going to say, what do you call someone who is... All right.
Sorry, I've just gotten the new technology. I've got all the sound effects at my disposal now.
Brilliant. So good.
Before anyone forgets, this is the sound effect when Adam's about to go on a rant.
That should have been playing now, because this was a rant. This wasn't actually part of our little plans. But it's so good.
Are you done with the rant?
Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog, highly recommended. You will love it. Yes, done. There we go.
Okay.
So, jumping actually into the content of the podcast that we have planned for today, our first little topic is going to be building your own bows and stuff like that. I know, right? Like, last episode was purely based around surviving the apocalypse and how to, assist in that. And now again, we're like the first topic, straight out of the bat, essentially, the first official topic, is more about how to survive the apocalypse. I mean, we're actually getting some ground in this. I don't know what we're doing.
It's almost as if we are literally called the Nerds Guide to Surviving the Apocalypse.
Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerds Way.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we had to change it for copyright reasons.
Oh, so good. So yes, Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerds Way, and building your own bow and using them. Now, we've actually tried this, and it was pretty fun. One of our friends, Stephen, came over and assisted with the process of that. In fact, I'm not sure if you know this. That night, I almost killed you.
Oh, I do know this.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay. All
right. So a good way to make your own bow and everything like that. Now, there is a multitude of content out there in the interwebs.
So I first wanted to get into this whole thing of making a bow. Like, it sounds like something Adam would do, but he already owns a bow. So I wanted to make my own because I don't really have the budget to spare. Now I've got a mortgage. I can't buy a bow pre-made. So I was like, how do I make one? And I found this awesome guide of someone had gotten a tree and like whittled out the bow and everything and made it himself, and it was super powerful. And I was like, you know what? Can't be bothered. So I went to Bunnings and bought some PVC pipe instead.
But it works really well. I mean, when you think about it, that could be used to hunt small game and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like rabbits. Now, funny thing is, this is a bit of conjecture here. I'm not really sure if this is correct, but you cannot survive on a diet of rabbit.
Oh.
You don't get enough nutritional value. You eventually become malnourished. So
do you know what you can survive on a diet purely consisting of? Bananas.
Really?
You might.
But if you eat, I can't remember the exact number, like I'm talking millions, radioactive poisoning.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
But
don't need a million bananas.
Even before you get radiation poisoning, the magnesium in it will overdose you. So you kind of have to make sure you don't eat too much either.
Right.
But apparently every nutrient the human body needs is in the banana. So that is why, as part of my plan to survive the apocalypse, I am growing a banana tree. But I guess we already talked about that.
Banana tree. That's pretty cool.
I should also note that while I was practicing with my bow later on, I don't think you were there at the time, but I accidentally hit my banana tree with the arrow. So that's one of my apocalypse survival plans, interrupting the other. But it survived, luckily.
Thankfully. So anyway, back
to the hospital, etc.
Yeah, banana tree hospital. They're everywhere, those things. Thank goodness we live in a free country. So anyway, they're building your own bow stuff. So with the PVC pipe. Now, we should link the video on how to build the PVC pipe in our social pipes, as it were. So we can, anyone out there would be interested in learning how to do it. Now, we kind of not cheated, but we cut a couple of corners. We didn't put the piping in the center of the PVC pipe.
Yeah, you're supposed to get some fiberglass and put it inside the PVC to make the bow stronger and able to be pulled back a lot more, and it increases
the poundage of the bow.
The draw weight, if you're a technical bowyer, or however you say. How do you pronounce bow?
Bowyer?
Bowyer? Okay. Who knows?
I mean,
clearly
technicalities, who need it?
Yeah.
So
bow maker.
So during the night, we made. We were in the process of making two. However, we only got through one because someone, not going to name names, it was me, filed the PVC pipe incorrectly. Bit too deep. Anyway, so while we were practicing with the bow, I brought out my compound bow, which was...
oh, no.
This has got a relatively large draw weight. Anyway, I'm not pulling this thing all the way back, mind you, because if I did that, that would go... Because when we finished the first PVC pipe bow, we took it out the front, we were firing a piece of bamboo stick.
At each other.
At each other, mind you. This is not with the compound bow, this is with the PVC pipe bow. I'm standing there just begging to be hit with this pipe. I'm pretty sure it was you that fired it, and I'm just like, because we're missing entirely. Like, there's no aerodynamics to this bamboo thing. So I'm standing there just going, yes, hit me, yes, oh. However... Steve was our mate who was with us. Steve was there as well, and he's like shielding himself, which is probably the smart thing to do, quite frankly. Anyway, so I'm standing there, and because I'm expecting they're going to miss. Thankfully, you did, and so did everyone else. But it whizzed right past my ear at one point. I'm just like, yep, okay, not doing this anymore. So we're firing it into this freezer box, and it was good fun. However, I brought out my compound bow because I wanted to just, fire things with a proper real arrow. But I'm not pulling back all the way because that would go through the box, through John, through Steve, and into the next house, and through that person as well. So I decided not to do that.
He's exaggerating a little bit. But seriously, didn't the first time you fired it out through the garage door, through the fence, into the neighbour's house or something like that?
Oh, that was the very first time I fired it, like when I brought... Yeah, that was funny.
And you killed a cat almost?
No.
Okay.
No, a pig. Not even kidding. Well, no, I didn't. I almost kill a pig. There was one in that yard, and we're just if it was near that fence, the arrow would have probably gone into its body. So we were quick little tangent. We were firing. Well, when I first got the bow, we were firing it out the front and fired it and went through the box. I was trying to because I was trying to sight it in because my bow has sight, so I'm sighting it in, and it's off whack completely. So I'm trying to sight it in, and I fire it. It goes through this box which I got filled with foam and all this other fun stuff, and straight through that, and all the way through up to the fletching. An asbestos fence. There's a perfect cylindrical hole in this asbestos fence. I'm just like, well, that's got some power. You got to be careful with that. I'm essentially the Green Arrow now, except less fit. So that's cool. I'm not going around attempting to stop the underground, nonetheless.
So back to the story where we fired the bamboo arrows at each other a bit, and we're firing into this box, cardboard box we've got going, and then you get out your bow,
and I'm pulling it back literally 4 centimeters and firing it.
Yeah,
and it's. Nothing dangerous about... Well, there is dangerous about that, but pulling back 4 centimetres, the bow is going into the box and kind of out the other end. And I'm just like, yeah, this is fun. Clap, clap, clap. So John fires the PVC pipe and goes behind the box to collect the bamboo stick.
Because unfortunately I missed.
Yeah, you missed.
So I'm behind the box, and Adam is on the other side.
Because I've been doing it the exact same way, essentially. Just the same thing. And now this is an important message to those out there. Safety in all things.
Yeah. Because bear in mind that this is the same bow and arrow that almost killed a pig.
Yeah, I should have thought of that. Anyway, maybe I'm just secretly trying to kill you. So I pull back the bow, and I'm not sure, it could have been subconscious. I'm not sure if I secretly want to kill Steve, to kill John. But anyway, so I pull back the bow and arrow, and the same length, essentially, the same length. Except this time, it's gone pretty much all the way through the box, and it's aimed directly at John's head. Thank goodness for fletching, because John probably might have died.
Yeah.
But it was good, or at least been horrifically injured. So, bow safety, very important, ladies and gentlemen. So, obvious tie-in to surviving the apocalypse. These PVC pipes, these PVC pipe bows are kind of really essential in certain aspects of surviving the apocalypse, because it can allow you to hunt small game, maybe even large game if you have enough poundage and stuff like that. Straight off the bat, you're not going to be able to kill a wild pig or anything like that. So
but I'd like to do a few iterations and maybe see if I can find the fiberglass. That'll increase the strength and the draw weight a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be fantastic. So just be mindful of that. Don't be trying to go out and hunt wild pigs with a PVC pipe bow, because you will die. Those things are aggressive.
They are. I've heard a lot about them.
I wouldn't do those, no. So, like rabbits and things like that you could kill. I'm not really sure what else. Maybe a wallaby. But obviously this is in survival. Do not go out hurting these poor creatures. You're an animal. So, yeah.
Let's just say the apocalypse does happen, and it's not a zombie apocalypse, but it's one where we've all turned on each other and we want food.
Society collapse.
Societal collapse. This bow is still incredibly useful, because now I've got a long-range weapon. Before, all I had was knives, etc., etc. But now I've got a long-range weapon. Now, granted, it can't injure anyone, really. But it is very useful for if I need to defend my place. Because one thing that we noticed while we were firing the bamboo sticks at each other on the street, making my neighbours think I was crazy.
Homicidal.
Which is partly true. You're crazy and homicidal, and I'm your friend, so by association. Anyway, so we're firing these bamboo sticks at each other, and just when the first time I did it, I think you were firing it at me. Just the primal fear that you get when you see a bow drawn back, pointing directly at you.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, actually. Yeah.
Even though we knew it wasn't that powerful.
Like, it was I'm not going to lie, like, it was a struggle to remain there with my arms outstretched just saying, yes, hit me. Like, look, you're 100% correct. Like, seeing that, like, you or Steve with that bow drawn back with even like a bamboo stick, not sharpened or anything like that, it's like, it does give you pause. You're literally there going, this is a little terrifying. Like, okay, imagine me standing there with my compound bow.
I would absolutely run, duck, do anything.
If I saw that, I'd just be like, well, this is how it ends. I wouldn't expect that.
But then the flip side of that, being on the other side, especially even just shooting into a box and seeing the bamboo stab in and start, it's just such a satisfying feeling.
And I think I have corrupted you a bit there.
I think you definitely have.
So anyway, these PVC pipe bows are easy to make, and they're incredibly useful. And I'm talking maybe half an hour. It only takes half an hour to make. All you need is proper string. Like, I'm not talking about bowstring. You can get, like, I don't know, paracord. You could use in a tight spot. Paracord, PVC pipe, and a file, or, you know, like some type of knife. And you'll be able to make a PVC pipe bow. Highly recommended. Check it out. This is one of my favourite subjects, and some people who go out with me at certain times, like out to a restaurant or go out for drinks and everything, as soon as the first round arrives, first thing I do is I toast the Queen, because that woman is amazing. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the monarchy. Boom! Drop the bomb!
I've only really been 2 times in my life that I have been surprised by you. Actually, 3.
Oh, okay.
One is when I found out that you used to play sport. The second was when I found out your favourite band was Owl City.
Yeah, well, it was. See that awkward silence? He's looking at me like, oh my goodness, it's not anymore? No,
well, because it's more because I imagined...
Death metal?
Death metal.
Yeah, it's not my jam.
It really isn't,
no.
And that's so obvious now, but just the dark, brooding... personality, you just think you would be into that. Anyway, third,
oh yeah, sorry,
your love for the monarchy. You're a monarchist.
I am a monarchist to my core. I love the Queen, like, deep within. She's amazing. She's done so many good things. Like that series, and I'm sure a lot of you folks, our listeners, have seen it. The Crown, which is on Netflix, which is brilliant. I love it. And it shows the struggles that Queen Elizabeth, the darling of England, the glorious woman, she just the struggles that she's gone through and the challenges she's had to overcome to be the type of woman that she was. I mean, this is the woman that, you know, drove ambulances and mechanics and all that type of stuff she was a mechanic, didn't drive mechanics, in the war.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah, she's not some, well, I mean, she's getting on nowadays. She's not doing that type of stuff now. Oh, actually, funny little tidbit. She actually drives around some of her estates by herself.
Yeah, right.
And she waves at her neighbours and stuff like that. She's so cool. I love the Queen. So I will toast the Queen every single time. Now, why are we bringing this up? You may ask yourself. That's a good question. Maybe I just want to talk about the Queen.
Yeah, any excuse to talk about the Queen.
That's true. Now, I'm not a huge fan of all the royal family, but, you know, being a monarchist is... You have to endure through the tough times as well. The crazies. I mean, think of Game of Thrones in certain respects.
Oh boy.
This isn't going to be a huge one. The Game of Thrones, you know, you've got like Cersei, who's a terrible human being, who's just blowing people up left, right, and centre. She's she's a royal in a certain aspect. I think she was queen. So, you know, you've got to suffer through that stuff if you're a monarchist. You've got to love the royal family. I mean, Prince Charles. That's going to be an interesting experience if he decides to come to the throne. Now, I'm hoping Prince William ascends instead, because that would be glorious. Yeah, a king at last.
All of this is going over my head because I know nothing about the royal family.
That's fair. So, back to the point. Why am I bringing this up? For those out there who are interested in some cool literature, there is a little book called World War Z. Now, some of you may have seen the movie, as we've mentioned before.
The Pepsi advert.
Yeah, it's rubbish. The book is amazing. Now, in the book, it talks about the monarchy and how it kind of rose up to defend the people. The Queen opened up her estates and lands for people to take refuge in them and stuff like that. And I truly believe that if this were the zombie apocalypse to happen, that the Queen would do so. I like the Queen. I like her. I think she's pretty cool. Now, a lot of people have their problems with the monarchy and some of the things that were done, but I don't care. I like the Queen. And if you're out with me and you don't toast the Queen, you're dead to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So can I do a rant of my own?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, hold on. Let me sit down. Already am, but that's fine.
So, yeah, I went to England recently. And we went to Buckingham Palace, of course. And I was really disappointed because the guards weren't out the front.
Oh.
So they have obviously...
Was the Queen in sight? Was she in Buckingham Palace? I'm not sure if that actually has anything to do with anything.
No, I think she... Wait, no, how does it work? She was there because we weren't allowed to go in. Sometimes you can go in if she isn't. I can't remember. Anyway, It was in winter, so if someone is a monarchist, even more of a monarchist than Adam, they'd know whether she was there or not. Anyway, so basically...
There's things to do with the flag. If the flag is flying, she's there.
Okay.
And if it's not flying, she is away.
Okay, so I know nothing about any of it. No. But basically, they have this fence around the whole castle, and usually they have the guards in red. Palace. My bad. I know nothing. Wait, what's a queen again?
She's a... What do you mean?
Never mind.
Technically, for a brief period of time, the King George, was an emperor.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So because the British Empire, right?
British Empire with India and everything like that. Anyway, sorry.
Basically, you have the fence, the wall surrounding the palace, and then you have the palace itself. So normally there's red guards outside the front of the gate, the fence. And then all we had were the blue guards in the middle. So I wasn't able to take a selfie with them.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Because apparently they go through rigorous training to never show emotion or react to anything you do.
Yep.
Now, obviously, I don't think you're allowed to harass them. I'm not
You're
sure
not allowed to. I don't think you're allowed to physically touch them.
Yes, you're not allowed to touch them.
Yeah, or else they, point their bloody oh my goodness, why am I spacing on this term?
Bayonet.
That's the one I'm thinking of. They point their bayoneted gun at you, and you're just like, well, this is how it ends. No more podcast.
So I wasn't able to see if that rumor was true, which is handy. Otherwise, I'd be dead today.
I'd love to have one of these guards, right? To have them stationed, and then bring a whole bunch of professional comedians in to try and break them. Just have them telling jokes.
Test.
Yeah, right. But that'd be pretty cool.
The whole time, the guys are just standing there, and then after at a certain point in time, I have no idea how they know because there's no clock there. But they will both, or one of them, or something. They'll get their gun out, move it from one hand to the other, walk up. Walk back down again, swap with the other guard, and then sit back down and then just stare again. I'm just thinking, wow, sometimes my job is boring, but my goodness.
I'm not sure how long their shifts might be, 6 hours, 7 hours or whatever, but imagine just standing still and looking at all these peasants coming up to you. And in this context, because we are talking about the monarchy, I'm not calling everybody peasants, I'm just saying...
It still counts as one.
That's fair.
But I don't have my bamboo stick to hit you with last episode.
So we've got so they're looking at all these people coming up and pulling faces at them and jumping around. I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd just mow them down with my gun. But
so you'd be good for one day on the job?
Yeah, bro, 30 seconds perhaps. But they're standing there for that long. I mean, do they just go to a happy place in their head? Do they go to their mind palace or something? Just be like, ooh, yeah, I know, right? It's possible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know how they do it. That's some, real fortitude on their part. I think that's pretty cool. I would like to personally have at least 7 of them under my command. Just guard the entrance to my house, thank you. Why? Why not? Just, you can say, yeah, I've got some Queen's Guard. They're guarding me because I'm a serial monarchist. So yeah, nonetheless, we had a brilliant... I just reckon we've had a brilliant run with the Queen, and I hope she continues for quite some time.
So the new season of Doctor Who is out.
Woo!
I've been watching it, but you always...
I'm saving it.
Yeah, you always...
Because I binge watch the hell out of that show.
Yeah. I mean, why would you wait weeks between episodes like a filthy...
No, not going to
I'm
get
trying
paid
to
into
take
that.
a filthy person like me. So I've been watching the episodes. You haven't been watching the episodes. There's been a lot of good ones. Like, I don't know if you know one of the characters, Nardole. He is absolutely hilarious.
Is that the guy from Little Britain?
Yeah, the bold, short, fat guy.
Yeah.
I've really made him sound handsome, haven't I?
Hey, he's amazing.
He is amazing. So... he's actually one of my favourite characters now, even though previously he's been in the show before, but I was like, I just couldn't get into it.
He was on the Christmas special, wasn't he?
Yeah. I didn't like him at all. But now he's definitely one of the things I look forward the most for each episode.
Is he in each episode? Or is he in and out?
Not in every episode. Okay. The start of the series...
So he's like Rory from... the first season with Matt Smith.
Yeah, so oftentimes they'll have the female companion for the Doctor who goes with a... Bill for all the adventures, but then they'll throw in another one who you see occasionally, and Nardole does a great job. And I think they reintroduced him into the show well, where you kind of... at first you're like, oh, he's a bit annoying. But then you're like, oh my goodness, he's amazing.
All right, okay.
But there are some episodes in this series that are absolutely astounding. Like, I really want to talk to you about the episode called Extremis.
Okay.
That one we absolutely had to talk about on the podcast.
All right.
So if you're listening to the podcast and you like Doctor Who, make sure you watch that episode before Adam does, because we're going to spoil the whole thing on the show.
Okay, so on that topic of Doctor Who, because we are both Whovians. I'm pretty sure it was actually you that got me into the show, surprisingly.
Yep.
Yeah, so credit to you there. I love Doctor Who. And my favourite Doctor... it's difficult to say. Now, yours would have to be Matt Smith, surely.
Yes, because I look exactly like Matt Smith.
You do. I have to say, there are very, very poignant similarities between you two. But I have to say, my favourite Doctor would have to be Peter Capaldi.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, I love David Tennant. He's like very close second. But you know what sealed it for me with Peter Capaldi? I think it was his second episode, Into the Dalek, where he and Clara, pop in, essentially, and they're on the spaceship, and they're like walking down a corridor with a bunch of other people, like, oh, who are you, all this type of stuff, and they're like, oh, who's she? And she's like, oh, she's Clara, and she's like, oh, what are you exactly? She's like, oh, I'm your carer. I'm his carer. And he's like, yes, that's right. She's my carer. She cares, so I don't have to. And we're like, boom! That's my man. I love it.
As soon as I heard that line, I thought of you immediately.
And I just love his eyebrows. They're so cool. They're like John Howard's eyebrows, except cool. And,
Attack eyebrows.
Yeah. So, yeah, but there's a lot of criticism surrounding some of the episodes and series that Moffat has taken in. Yeah,
so the lead of the series, Stephen Moffat, he's really good, but there's been a lot of criticism, as you say.
I think he does a brilliant job with like the mysteries.
Yes.
And like the long build-up. But I don't think that needs to be so concentrated.
Yeah.
And so focused on in a lot of this. Nonetheless, you know what one of my favourite episodes is?
All right.
Listen. So the Doctor's theorising, like the start of the episode is, what about like the perfect predator who like avoids all detection essentially? How certain species have evolved to attack and things like that. What if this person has evolved to hide? Like perfectly. And he talks about like the child on the bed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Now, funny story. So I'm sitting there watching this and I'm drawn in. Like I'm like so drawn into this and I'm like on the edge of my seat. Because it's got that suspense to it, that creepiness vibe. Anyway, so it's towards the end of the episode, and like there's all this rattling going around through the spaceship because they're at the end of the universe, and the door's about to like creak open, and you think you're about to see something, and suddenly, boom! My door opens up, and someone pops in and creeps me out. Like I jump like a full 3 feet back from my computer because I was like, I'm like drawn in. Oh, it was so good. I love jump scares. Like getting jump scared, I love it. Oh, so good. So yeah, but listen, favorite episode. But anyway, new season. Now, why I'm wanting to talk about this is because my favorite villain, and I love villains. Villains are so much better than heroes because heroes are so perfect and namby-pamby and villains are where the story's at. Because villains they're broken, they're sad and things like that. The Master is the best villain, hands down. Missy is so cool. Michelle Gomez playing Missy. I wish she would stay on as the mistress, the masteress, whatever, for like ever. She is the perfect master. I love it. She's so cool. I love like the pain in her voice. I think it was last season where she's like, I just want my friend back, you know? I'm just like, oh, Missy, what are you doing? I love you so much. And yeah, so I just like her. And she's crazy and sociopathic and murders people just willy-nilly.
Well, you always have a soft spot for sociopaths, don't you?
Well, to an extent. I mean, you know, in fiction, sociopaths in real life are crazy people. So yeah, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this new episode of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, she features quite heavily.
Oh really? I didn't think she did.
Season. Oh man, she's basically the plot of the whole season. I hope that's not a spoiler.
No, that's fine. No, that's good. That's good because I know this could. It's been all over Facebook massively. So if you watch Facebook, yes, if you're on Facebook, you would have seen it. The old Master from David Tennant time is back.
Yeah, John Sim. They actually put him in the trailer for the season, so it's not really a spoiler. They're obviously trying to hint at it. So that's really interesting because we never saw. So if you've not watched Doctor Who, the reason we're talking about the Master and the Mistress is because they're the same person.
Yeah,
basically. It's an alien that can regenerate, so it can basically turn into a new person.
Let's assume that our listeners can assume regeneration. If not, watch Doctor Who.
So basically, we know that the Mistress is a regeneration of the Master, but we don't know where she is in the timeline, because it's a time travel show. We don't know if he regenerated into her, so the old Master into the new Mistress, or if it's the other way around and she's eventually going to become him. Now, most likely it is him turning into her, but we don't know that yet.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's going to be interesting to find out when they meet each other, a past version of her. It's going to be really interesting.
Oh, goodness. So it's like the whole River thing. Like River Song. I love River Song, don't get me wrong. But that whole timeline stuff like just messes with my head because I get really confused.
There's this cool thing I want to do one day where you can order the episodes in the order of this character, River Song, so you can see from her timeline perspective what's going on instead of the series of the episodes as they were released is in the Doctor's order.
Yeah.
And so the plot is the Doctor and River Song meet each other at different times. Almost like the Time Traveler's Wife, if you've read that.
I find a brilliant move by the writers, either Moffat or Russell T Davies.
But can I just point out, brilliant move, because River Song, the character, was introduced in an episode...
That's exactly what I was going to say,
yeah.
But that is... Like, looking back at that episode now, that episode is the saddest episode because, like, after you know who River Song is and her relationship with the Doctor and everything, looking at that, you're just like, that breaks my heart.
So if you don't know, Stephen Moffat wrote an episode before he became the lead writer at Doctor Who. He wrote an episode introducing a character that pretty much featured through his whole run as the lead. It's just so brilliant. So much forethought.
No, that's brilliant. I like that. I like having those type of like long-term plans as well. I think that's a real good payoff.
Like, can I just point out? I really hate it how.
Excuse me.
I really hate it how TV shows these days just like the writers always forget about the previous episodes. Yeah. Like they always are so focused on the new people watching that you never like you just know that they're going to forget about X random character ever even existing and never talk about it ever again. And I always love those moments where it's like a throwback, but they never do it.
You know, I discovered that in because I'm rewatching How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Love that series. Ted's sister, right? She comes into an episode, never features again.
Ted's sister?
Yeah, right?
He has a sister?
Yeah, has a sister. She comes into town. She's wanting a job. She lives in New York as well, I'd like to point out.
Oh, right.
And... She gets a job at Barney's firm and gets an apartment in New York. Never mentioned again throughout the entire
See, I hate that. You can just tell that they didn't do it for like logistic reasons.
Nope.
And I feel like that no. Like put in the effort, make a congruent universe, okay?
You heard it here. That sees now is angry, and that's terrifying. So Doctor Who, amazing, and I'm looking forward to binge watching the hell out of these. I'm probably going to start tonight, quite frankly.
Yeah, because it's all out now.
I thought there was one more episode.
No, I think it's a 12-episode season. Maybe I'll have to double-check that.
Oh, that's cool. But that's cool. Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fantastic. We've got a friend of ours, or friend of yours, Josh Blackwell, who is a musician. And I've heard some of his music, which John has showed me. But John, you're the musician. Take it away.
There's this... He's just recently released a new EP, although I guess it was a few months ago now. But I've just really enjoyed listening to it at work. Very chilled out, full of real instruments, none of this overproduced electronic stuff that I make. But really good quality, and he really knows his way around music. He knows probably... I can't even count the number of instruments he knows how to play, but then each one he knows how to do a really good job of playing as well.
That's cool. I like those of you who have listened to previous podcasts. I'm no musician. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to music and things like that. I think it's a brilliant skill and desire to have, but I just don't have it in me. I think you either are born with it or you're not, and I was not born with the skill of music, that's for certain. So, this will be my first time actually listening to one of Josh's songs. Oh, I know, and those are friends of the show, and friends of ours are probably going, you betrayer. You should be listening to this guy and supporting your local artists. So, this will be my first time listening to it, and it should be pretty good. So, I think we should get that going.
Take it away.
Indeed. So, boom!
The city on its own, along the western coast, she stands alone. Her land is low and wide, with mountains none in sight. She stands alone. She's so beautiful, she looks wonderful, but inside she's dead. She's like paradise, drawn in and enticed, but inside she's dead. Wayward daughter, Daddy sees your pain. Daughter, please come home again. She's got everything she needs, at least that's how it seems. She stands alone. Every day's a sunny sky, every evening filled with lights. She stands alone. It's more than meets the eye. Careful, don't look twice. You might see her scars hidden out of sight, unless you dig and find that she's dead and dry. Oh, dead
that was Josh Blackwell, and I found that to be kind of... it's got to me anyways, it's got like a Michael Bublé type of vibe to it, but in a more... Not reggae. Honestly, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Stop trying to be a musician.
Yeah.
Even I don't know these terms.
I don't know. But yeah, I like that. So if you like Josh Blackwell and that song, check him out. I think it was pretty good. And if you do as well, I'm sure he would appreciate the support to our vast, vast sea of listeners. See that awkward silence? That's what that was.
Yeah, that's because we don't have a vast sea of listeners.
So,
but
Johnny,
we do appreciate our very small drip.
Oh, exactly. I'm happy with what we've got. I mean, quite frankly, we didn't do this for fame. We're doing this for an outlet.
Well, I mean, yeah, after all, if anyone listens to this podcast, it just means that we're not two crazy people talking in a room, which is what we would be if it wasn't for this podcast.
Which is what we'd be doing anyways, really.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact we have at least 3.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
We've got,
wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Pete, Tyson, Callum. You guys are legends.
What about all the other people that are now you've just alienated all the people you don't know the names
Nobody's
of.
really told me about that they listen to the podcast.
Okay. So if you now comment on our thing, Adam will...
I will call out your name loudly and with much love and vehemence.
He's probably going to...
I will. I will go through the Facebook page and just say, now these are the people who love us, and I will show love to you through glory and majesty.
All right, we should probably move on.
Moving on! Oh my. Oh, yeah, I've got to remember the sound effects. So, John, you told me you had a dream about the apocalypse.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So, regale me. What is this dream?
Now, I must say, I'm very disappointed in you, in your behaviour in this dream.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry.
I know, right?
Actually, I'm a horrible human being.
Yeah, so my subconscious knows you very well then.
Yes.
So,
It's true.
What happened was, basically, I can't remember, there was something, I was obviously very tired, so I was having strange dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, I'm in the dream, it's the apocalypse, of course. I'm in this house, in my house. My wife's dead.
Oh,
Now...
Caitlin, you're dead! No, she didn't hear.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so basically, I'm on my own.
Yep.
And what would happen is people would continually rock up to my house. I think it was the zombie apocalypse, not quite sure.
Okay. Were they zombies or people?
People were rocking,
Okay.
not zombies. But I think there were zombies. So they would rock up and they'd be like, right, we're part of this awesome zombie crew. Man, you've just got to join. You've got to help us. And they would have all these kitted out massive cars, like, full of stuff. And I was like, no, because I was waiting for you and your crew of people who you...
We'd left you behind.
Yeah, basically, you
remember.
left me behind!
Yeah, but Caitlin's the chronicler. She's the important one. If she's dead, that's gone.
Oh, wait. Or maybe she wasn't dead. Maybe you picked her up. Because I don't know if she was dead. She just wasn't there.
Well, that's probably what would have happened.
You picked her up and left me!
She's the chronicler. She's got to chronicle our experiences.
I can't believe it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was controlling your dream.
That is even worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, so more and more people would turn up.
Mm-hmm.
But every time, it would always be someone would come up and I was sure I would see like a bite on their body. And I was like, no, they're going to turn into a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
So they would keep turning up. But every time, the door would unlock itself. And so I'd have to run to the door, quickly try and like... lock the door again before they tried to open the door and get in, because obviously I was worried they'd turn to a zombie. But for some reason you couldn't lock the door if it was closed. I had to open the door, close it, and then lock it. And every time I'd just be so scared that someone was going to get in.
Just so you're aware, if it came to that stuff and someone wanted into your house, there's not a lot you can do to stop them.
Yeah, so the door probably wasn't going to help. But, so, I mean, this was interesting to me on a few levels. Because one, very disappointed that you left me behind in your zombie crew.
Well, you've got your farming thing, but I want to see, like, mass yielding crops, essentially.
Okay.
And then...
I ate broccoli today.
No, I want to see your crops yielding mass amounts of food. And then I'll know that you're worthy to be in that group.
Okay.
Because Caitlin's a chronicler.
Okay.
She's going to be, like, detailing everything of our glorious activity.
Today they left behind my husband. Not much we can do about it. Oh, well.
LOL. Yeah, she better not use LOL in her bloody transcripts. Oh, my words.
But on the other level, I think it kind of shows... I think maybe we talk about the apocalypse too much on our podcast. Like, I know it's...
What? So, wait a second. Surviving the Apocalypse, The Nerd's Way, and we talk about the apocalypse too much.
I think so. It's causing me to dream about the apocalypse.
Well, that should be good, though, because that's now conditioning your brain.
Yeah. So it's apparently dreams are just when your subconscious mind tries to think out situations that it thinks might happen in the future in order to help your waking mind solve problems.
Potentially. Although I think you're missing the important part here.
Okay.
You, whilst in your dream, notice bites on people. That's huge. That's huge because whilst in a zombie survival situation, especially zombie survival, how do you know someone's not concealing a bite? That's why in my group, huge strict quarantine procedures.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, I've thought about this in detail. Believe me, I do nothing else but think about this type of stuff. Essentially, it's a very sad life.
So in order to come into the base, you have to take off your shirt and everything.
You have to be thoroughly inspected. Not by me, but you have to be inspected. Because if you've got a bite, like if you've got like some type of open wound, you're quarantined for a period of time.
Yeah.
And if you turn, then, I'll wait for you to turn before, either exiling you or putting you down. It's going to be putting you down. Yeah. But, that's
zombie to kill later on.
Yep, that's all right.
But, yes, so I'll let you know if there's another dream, and I'll see what happens next.
I love apocalyptic dreams. I thoroughly enjoy them.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun, especially if you ever get to that point of, like, lucidity within your dream, like the lucid dream and stuff. So much fun. Although, here's a little interesting article I read.
Okay.
Or a little test, if you will. Little test. If you're, like, in a dream, obviously, but you have just, like, a shred of control, and you want to know that, like, you're dreaming, essentially, try and read the time. Won't work.
Oh, yeah.
Can't read the time in your dreams. There's no time.
Wow.
Different part of your brain, apparently. So it's pretty cool. I like that. But, you know what we should do? We should get a psychologist on the show.
Yes.
And talk about psychological problems that you can face in these type of situations.
Yeah.
I think I know someone who might be able to help us with that. So yeah, that'll be good. So we'll do that. So that's all we've got for today, or tonight, depending on when you're listening, whatever. So, as always, be wary of horrible mutants, bursting up through the sewers and trying to eat your face. And as you want to keep everything smooth and ready to go, we have a couple of social pipes that you can obviously check out.
Do you know that the internet isn't made of tubes, Adam?
It is now.
Okay.
Boomed. It's tubed. So, on Twitter. We're on Twitter, which, we're on Twitter. So basically, if you want to check us out there, we'll post random stuff or chat and all that type of stuff.
The Nerds Way.
The Nerds Way _pod. We have on Facebook. Just search Surviving the Apocalypse, The Nerds Way. You'll find us there. At Gmail, if you want to send us any emails, hate mail, things like that. I'd love to read that personally. Yeah. That's thenerdsway@gmail.com.
Address all hate mail to Adam and all love mail to me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I love it. SoundCloud, which is where we put a lot of our podcasts there. We're also on iTunes now, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we're on iTunes. So you can search for us on iTunes as well. See, John, you're all over this stuff, man. I love it. SoundCloud, just search The Nerds Way. And we're on Twitch because at some point we're going to be doing a live recording, which should be an absolute just abomination.
Yeah, don't listen to it.
Don't watch it, don't listen to it, just ignore that. But Twitch TV /The Nerds Way. And we'll probably be doing some games and everything like that as well on there because I like live streaming games and all that type of stuff. So, if you want to check us out on those, that would be fantastic. Give us a like on Facebook and share, whatever, that'd be cool. But if you don't, well, you're a peasant.
No!
Boom, number 2. I'm allowed to. Yeah,
because I was just about to say we actually don't mind about social likes and stuff.
No,
it's
not really
fun. We mainly want to entertain you.
Yeah, essentially, and I like to entertain myself. So, as always, keep your go bag ready, filled with movies, DVDs, and all that fun stuff. And as always, I was about to say good night, Night Vale. Night Vale, fantastic. Goodbye. Awkward silence. Now,
okay,
talking about all things British.
Wait,
you can't. Yeah,
you always start it.
Hey, you can start. Go for it.
Okay. So while we're on the topic of Britain,
Yeah, so I was strangling this kitten the other day.
So there's a chair for your coffee, but not for me.
No, the coffee's more important. Well, that was brilliant. I did not feel like I needed to disembowel myself there. So, yeah, that was good.
You always say you didn't feel like you needed to disembowel yourself.
Hey, you'd be surprised how often I feel like I need to disembowel myself.
Please not during the recording of an episode.